Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. What's happening, everybody? It's your big homie Doe checking in one time for the one time. Back with another episode of Donuts with Doe. And on today's podcast, we have actor, playwright, entrepreneur, and I could probably go on with a list of other things, but we're going to get into that. But today we have Jaren J. Hampton, everybody.
Oh man, appreciate it. Oh, it's me you were talking about. I was waiting on somebody special to walk in the door. I didn't know, but nah, Jesus, man, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here, and man, I appreciate you sharing your platform with me.
Man, we thankful for having you, man. But we'll get right into it, man. So, Jaren, I expect you to be a Nashville native. It says that on the bio here.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, what side of Nashville are you from? That's the $1 million question.
It's always the $1 million question. So the funny thing is, technically, if you break it down, I was born out west, off of Charlotte Road. I spent like the first 9 years of my life out there. My parents were living like an apartment for like the first 9 years.
Okay.
Then we moved to the Belshire area, near Madison, Belshire. And that's where I guess I really grew up. I was there from like 9 to, I guess, whenever I moved out the house. So my daddy's still over there, so still staying out there. But yeah, so technically out west.
Okay.
You don't hear that a lot. You know, so, you hear out south, out north.
Okay, my question is Madison considered East Nashville? I had to ask that because, I mean, I'm not originally from Nashville. I've been here almost 20 years, but I still don't know.
It's going to always depend on who you ask. A lot of people say no. You know, they think out east, they think in the Inglewood area, you know, things of that nature. So a lot of people say no. It's a toss-up for me. I say yeah.
It's like right there on the edge.
It's on the edge, but a lot of people will fight you behind it. So
you know, so that's why I had to ask somebody.
It's right there. I mean, let them be out east.
Yeah, let them be.
What's the harm in it? You know,
I
didn't grow up out there, so you don't. You know. So maybe that's why it's easier for me to say that.
Okay, I take that. So growing up on the west side of Nashville, out east. Don't let me say west side. You know, I gotta say out east. I mean out west. Growing out west, what were some of your influences, you know, coming up as a kid? And, you know, how was the household? Did you have both parents? Were there siblings? You know, let's get into that.
Good question, man. So, you know, fortunately enough, I was lucky and blessed enough to have both parents. Okay. At least up until my mom. She passed in 2004 from breast cancer.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, growing up, that was 15 when that happened. So for the first 15 years of my life, you know, I was able to have both parents in the household. And it'd be interesting because I would meet people who didn't. And not to say anything is wrong with that either. Right. But, you know, that was a different norm for me. But it was a blessing having being able to grow up with both parents. And, you know, I had a father and a mother. I got two sisters. One is 5 years apart, and then the other one is 10 years apart. So I was the only child for a good minute. And even the middle sister, she didn't live with me. It was a whole situation, you know, my dad and some other, you know.
Yeah.
But we were, you know, grew up close, but I was in the house by myself primarily for like 10 years.
Oh, so you were spoiled for
you know, so. And then, you know, my dad and my mom had, you know, my younger sister who did live in the house, but even then she was a girl, so I was still able to kind of do me as a boy.
You was the man. You was smelling yourself.
So you know,
big brother.
So it was cool, but no, they're a blessing to have. So
okay,
yeah.
And you said they're 5 and 10 years apart from you. So with that, like, did you would you say that gave you like a authoritative spirit, or, you know, wanting to become a boss because you are really, you know, the man in the house, you know, below your dad? You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, did that give you like that authority, you know, want to take authority early on in your life? Or
that's a great question. Subconsciously, possibly. I never really thought of it in that way. But when my mom passed, my younger sister was 5. Me and my middle sister got different moms. So me and my younger sister had the same mom. So she was 5. And when she passed, you know, my dad was still taking care of us. But, you know, he would work. So I, in a sense, was thrown into a role of having to raise her, being 15. Not raise her. He raised her definitely, but having to watch her, babysit. It forced me to grow up quick, and then forced me to look after her at a young age. So I have the experience of seeing a child grow up. So I did feel like I was in charge. I was definitely the authoritator when he was not around. When he'd be at work or whatever, I was calling the shots. So I don't know if that was prematurely, subconsciously setting me up for something now, or I don't know.
Well, I believe it was. We just gonna roll with that.
I'll take it.
Man, so you go through elementary, go into middle school. Where did the love of acting and screenwriting come into play during those adolescent years, I guess?
I've been wanting to act since I was 5. My dad tells a story that I watched the episode of Power Rangers, and I did love Power Rangers, and that I wanted to act. I told him I wanted to act since then.
You want to be Tommy?
Tommy was the blue one.
I think Tommy was the Green Ranger.
Was Tommy the green one?
I think.
I remember Zach was the black one. Kim was the pink one.
Yeah.
It was the red. Jason was the red one. I forgot which Tommy was. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah. I forgot who I wanted to be. I like the blue one a lot, but I don't know why. Maybe because I was him for Halloween, but that's a different story. But yeah, so he said that I went to him and told him I wanted to act at 5. I remember wanting to act. I don't know that Power Rangers was the show that I watched when I said it, but at 5, my memory isn't that clear, so he's probably right. Okay. But that's the story he tells, so I stick with it. But I definitely want to act at 5. I remember telling him I wanted to be an actor, and just really stuck through that. I didn't understand it. I just knew that being on TV looked cool, and what they were doing looked cooler. So ever since then, it just kind of stuck. Like my love for acting, and of course, as I got older and saw more things and got to get a different appreciation for it, it definitely grew. Like it never diminished, never went away, and it's still, here today. So, but yeah, it started, I guess, at 5 watching Power Rangers. I used to try to imitate their moves.
Watching Power Rangers. Wow. See how we find inspiration in the smallest things?
It's the smallest things.
Power Rangers. Like, we killing putties out here.
We killing putties. Zelda, all of them. So
yeah, Rita Repulsa. See, I was a little bit older, during that time.
It wasn't Zelda, Zordon. That's what I'm thinking. My bad.
My nephew was watching Power Rangers, and I'm like, this ain't Voltron. Yeah. But anyway, man, so from 5 years old, you got that acting bug. When was the first time that you got an opportunity to showcase your skills?
Man, I didn't get to do my first acting or stage play until my sophomore year in high school. It was a play called Curtain Going Up. I went to Hunters Lane High School. Shout out Hunters Lane, alma mater. And that was my first time acting, first time being on stage, all of that. And it was a great experience, like being in front of a live crowd. Nothing like it. Like to this day, nothing tops that. And it was funny because it was a play within a play. It was literally a play about high school students putting on a play. So very unique concept and design by the writer. I forgot his name, but that was my first play, and it hit. And I was like, yeah, acting this is everything I thought it would be, and some.
So from there, did you enthrall yourself into, taking acting classes or breaking down scripts or monologues, and what led after that?
After that, so I was in an acting class there at Hunters Lane. It was an acting and theater arts class. I went to college.
You mean to cut you off? No, is Hunters Lane a magnet school for? I know there's a couple of magnet schools in Nashville that cater to different industries. So was Hunters Lane one of those, or
it wasn't? It was a comprehensive high school. I still don't know what comprehensive means, but it sounds good when you say it.
I went to a comprehensive high school.
It sounds good, but it
comprehend over here.
They didn't really specialize in that. It was we had an acting school here that specialized in acting. I forgot the name of it. It slipped my mind, but I know a lot of people that went there, and some people say I should have went there, but Hunters Lane wasn't one of them. It was just just a high school, but they offered the courses. So I was like, yeah, I'm interested in that. I'll take that. Then I went to college at MTSU. Shout out MT.
Okay, Millersburg.
Yes, sir. I took some another acting class there. And in 2014, I took acting class from David E. Talbert. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He does stage plays and movies. He had that movie, probably one of his biggest hits, Almost Christmas.
Okay.
Had like Monique and
Yeah,
a lot of people in
yeah.
there. Took an acting class from him. So it, definitely took some classes. Worked with several local people who are throughout the city that write plays or direct plays, and just kind of worked with them. Shout out my guy Sam. He did a play in college. That was my first time back acting since high school. So I met him at MTSU. He did a play. I was a part of it. Definitely reignited my passion. And from there, it was just foot on the gas, no brakes.
Cool, man. So from there, we went to high school. We went to college. Um, are you building a community of people that have the same passion as you during this phase? From high school to college. Are you running into other actors and other screenwriters and things of that nature?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Sam was a guy I met. Him and I keep in touch. He's in my newest play coming up. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of local actors, writers, directors, and build a good connection and working relationship with them to where we work on a lot of each other's projects together. If they call me up, as long as my schedule's clear, I'm there, and vice versa. They return the favor if I need anything. So was really able to build that community because we're all just people, trying to make it, trying to strive for it with the passion and a dream. There's, where Nashville isn't the best city to, accomplish that when you got cities like Atlanta and LA and New York, but we're trying to change that narrative.
Man, you'd be surprised who actually came out of Nashville. A lot of people don't know that Mark Voorhees was born in Nashville.
Really?
I can't remember her name. She played on not House of Pain, but what was the other show Tyler Perry had with
Meet the Browns?
With Joaquin, the girl that played the sister.
Yeah.
She went to Vanderbilt. I
Really?
can't remember her name.
Okay.
So yeah, so this industry here.
Yeah,
is just,
we got. Yeah, I believe it. We got the talent here.
I've ran into people that have called Nashville the new Hollywood of the South, just because it's a lot of filming locations that people use out here.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly like out in Franklin, that area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's budding, man.
Atlanta might have something to say about that, but
yeah, let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
come on, Atlanta is been built for
that's true. That's true
for the industry. You know what I'm saying? But with a lot of people in Nashville trying to diversify, the things that they do and seeing the opportunity, like,
I think it's good. It's a great look for Nashville. Nashville is home, so any improvement we can make for the city is great, especially in acting. I saw something the other day that I want to say that they were approved for a grant. I know they had applied for, and I want to say they were approved for like a filming grant, which would help more big production movies come here because it would help something with the tax credit. Don't get me to in all of that. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it would allow it would be a cheaper tax credit. I want to say for bigger films to come and shoot here. So it's kind of to entice Hollywood movies, like you said, to come to Nashville to shoot and film. So I think that'd be pretty good because it will open up opportunities for people interested in acting.
It'd be nice to see that good old TriStar at the end of the credits.
Yeah,
like the peach for Georgia.
Yep, absolutely.
But as far as you building your community, and during this time, have you started writing plays on your own? What was that process like of even stepping out and saying, hey, let me try my pen game and see what I can do with this?
Man, I didn't even start writing my first play until 2013. I had been in a few plays by that point, and I was on this one show that ran for like 6 months or so, and was really like enjoying it and didn't want it to end. I think it ran from I want to say like December 2012 or so till maybe like June 2013. and just had a lot of fun doing that. And when it was over, like when it finally, had its final run, I was like, man, I don't want to stop. So I had just started writing probably summer 2013. Just writing like, let me try something. Let me see what can happen, and the first play was February of 2014. So we started practicing everything probably like October, and I'm expecting, family and friends to come out, be something like that, something to say, oh, I did a play. Was never supposed to be a thing, ongoing thing. And, we ended up selling the theater out. First play.
Look at God.
No, really, like it was all God. I'm thinking, oh, our family and friends will come. If we get 50 people there, we'll be good. We'll be a good show, have a good audience. And, I can say, oh, I wrote a play, and it far exceeded every expectation I had, to the point where we actually, this was on me. I was young, I was green, didn't really know what I was doing. We oversold tickets to the play. So I was supposed to count the tickets for the amount of seats that we had from the company I ordered it with. Well, they sent more tickets than I had requested. So, as people are saying, hey man, we got people that want tickets, I'm just passing out tickets, exceeding the amount of seats that are in the theater. We just selling tickets. I'm like, well, I still got a box full of tickets. Let's sell them. So we ran into an issue where we're at the door and people are coming in with tickets. Now the theater's full at this point. So the owner of the theater is like, hey, we got to turn some of these people away, or the fire marshal's gonna come and shut us down. Ain't gonna be a play.
They couldn't hit you with the folding chairs like church.
When we brought out, they brought out a couple, and they were like, look, no more. So we were having to refund people money. It ended up being it was a mess that turned into something great. And that's what allowed me to keep going from there, because I didn't know that the demand would be that high. It was a wonderful feeling. I mean, I hated to have to turn people away. People drove in from out of town. I felt awful, but it helped me to get better with my business going forward, at least on that aspect of it. But now, it was a great feeling for me, for the actors. Like, I don't think anyone expected that. I know I didn't.
So it had to feel like a rookie coming into his first NBA game and putting up 50.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, I'm coming in there just dropping buckets left and right. Yeah. And that's what inspired me to continue to write more. It was a fear. It's always that fear, with music. It's, that sophomore slump or something like that. Or with anything, they always say, the second project is a sophomore slump. So I had that fear, like, what if that was just a one-time thing where, oh no, people come out to the first one, but then they're going to keep coming. And, thankfully I've been wrong. Each one, the audience gets bigger and bigger. So it's been a blessing.
During this time, where are you drawing inspiration from? Like, who are you comparing notes with, as far as maybe there's a screenwriter or a playwright that you look up to, maybe a format of a play that you looked and observed and said, this fits what I'm trying to do. So what were, those influences? Where did they come from?
Good question, man. So I get influenced by a lot. Like, even I can see a movie or hear a song and come up with the idea or concept for a play. As far as writing influences, seeing it being done locally by people was inspiration that I can do it. Tyler Perry, I think, definitely set the mold for how to write a play, produce a play, put it out there, have ownership of everything. And, he's definitely, I think, the top, at least for African-American playwrights. Like, definitely. I can't think of, anybody that has done it to the level of success that he has. So seeing, of course, the success that he's had with doing stage plays and what it's turned into, seeing, friends of mine have success locally showed me that it is possible to do so. So that's, just inspiration to continue to write. But yeah, I can draw inspirations from songs. I see a episode of TV on a commercial or anything like that. Like I'm like, okay, I can write. And a couple ideas will turn into, 70, 80 page script in, matter of months.
I'll tell you something that I thought was, pretty remarkable. I can't even talk. Remarkable, pretty dope is when Irv Gotti was bringing out Tales, where he would bring like a song to life, make a whole like episode from a song. I
Saw
think he
that.
had a Warning
Mhm.
and a couple other songs from the 90s. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Um, man, and I just recently watched an interview with RZA
Mhm.
on All the Smoke, and he was talking about just finding inspiration, how he finds inspiration from movies,
Mhm.
and he made this comparison of he had said something about like a great film movie. I can't remember what it was, but
Mhm.
then he also referenced Attack of the Killer Tomatoes,
Mhm.
and the point he was trying to make is that somebody gave this man a budget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody actually believed in him enough to even, it might have been a horrible movie, but somebody said,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my question is for you, like, what has been that inspiration to keep on going and, get going out here and getting funding for these plays? How have you conducted, that on that aspect, and how did you even find your business acumen, out here
Mhm.
with, I say, no real blueprint. You just doing it,
Yeah.
off the muscle.
Yeah. Man, the first couple plays was all out of pocket. Like every penny was spent straight out of pocket on the hope and the prayer that I make it back.
No more J's.
Yeah,
Can't
he
buy
said
the
no.
J.
Man, it was definitely,
Might have to sell a couple pair
listen,
of
I'm telling
grails.
you, I'm like savings account sitting there like, what you doing, bro? Like, what's going on? And thankfully it paid off. So they would, put it back in a little bit. But it was the first couple were all straight out of pocket. So on the very first play I did, I was telling about the one we did in 2014, like I pretty much did everything, like from finding the theater to negotiating the contract with the theater, doing the casting. Of course, I wrote it, directing, acting in it. Like I did it all. And my dad has been a huge support system. Um, so after I did the first one, when I said I think I want to do a second one, he came along on the business side and was a huge help. He was like, I'll find you a bigger theater," which he did. Um, he kind of took over the business part and let me handle the creative side, which was a huge help. Like he found the theater, he negotiated the contract. Where all I had to do was pretty much sign my name and do all of that. Um, he took care of all of that aspects with security, insurance. He handled that for me. So that was a huge weight off my shoulder. And he took over those duties starting the second play, and did them up until now. Like he's still helping out. And him and big shout out to my girlfriend Marissa. She's came along and helped out and she stepped in to the role. And together, her, my dad, and myself, we were, helping out with getting sponsors, and it's come so, like when we're in a bigger venue now, everything has come so much further from the first one to now with, like you said, the business, because now we're getting sponsors and we have different businesses. And it's funny because you see those things like on TV that you have to, like, I guess, answer to now, in a sense. Like we're in no means public or large enough to be public yet, but I
Right.
see when you have sponsors and stuff on board, there's certain things that you can and can't do versus when, not the play wise, the creative is still there. I still have 100% over creative,
Right.
but older me may have made a post or something on social media that now sponsorship driven me has to think twice about,
Right.
when it was privately owned and funded, could nobody tell me nothing. But now I'm like, you know what, maybe let me not say this. I don't want to offend nobody. So
Can't be out here Kanyeing, bro.
yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. So I do see that difference. But as far as the creative, I'm still 1,000% in charge of everything that goes on that side. So that's one thing that's non-negotiable that I'm not willing to give up, and I haven't had to, thankfully.
Now let's go back to the detriment of having your dad
Yeah.
in your life and helping you. You know, you spoke, briefly about how he stepped in, but how has that played a role in everything that you do outside of the fact that he's helping you, do these things and negotiating contracts?
Mhm.
Just the aspect of having your dad there with you.
Oh, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. He's one of a kind. I definitely say. Just from stepping in, he did such an amazing job of raising me and my sisters. After my mom passed, So he's always been there. I can definitely say in my corner, and somehow doesn't miss anything, graduations, anything. He's always been there in my corner. It's good to, good to have his back. And it's funny because, people will look at it and at least I guess how I grew up and think that my dad is strict. And I tell people my dad was never strict. I had a lot of freedoms. He was stern, but not strict. But like I had a lot of freedoms. If ever I wanted to do something to show interest in something, he would let me do it. And it would come with rules. So you can do it, but or you can do this, but you need to take into consideration. Or if this happens, it's
If you want these Jordan, you're gonna have to cut
you're
out
gonna have
10
to,
yards.
yeah.
I'm not gonna buy you gas.
Absolutely.
I'll get you the lawnmower, but I ain't gonna buy you gas. You're gonna have to buy the gas yourself. I'll take you there.
Yeah,
I ain't from cutting no grass.
Man, that's him 100%. I'll take you to go get the Jordans, but you're gonna be the one paying for them when we get there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's been a tremendous help for that. He actually sparked. So I have a huge love for stand-up comedy, like a deep love for and passion for stand-up comedy. It's not for me just because I admire everybody that gets up there. I think it's the hardest form of live entertainment.
Definitely.
Like out there. And I have a tremendous respect for it. So I was like, okay, well, I can't do stand-up, but I can write a script and go and perform it. But he sparked my love for stand-up comedy, which kind of filtered into acting, and I kind of rolled into one because growing up, so I told you we stayed in apartments, like, for the first 9 years of my life. And I guess they had, back then it was the 90s, so they had like free cable and HBO was included in the rent or something.
Okay.
So it'd be late at night, and I would hear him in the living room up laughing, like cracking up. I'd be in my room sleep, mom be in her room sleep, and he'd be in the living room cracking up. And I'd wake up, 11 o'clock at night and go in there like, Daddy, what's so funny? What are you laughing at? Blah, blah, blah. And he'd be watching Def Jam. That's when it was fresh and new episodes weekly. So he'd be watching Def Jam and cracking up because he loves stand-up comedy. And I would just see him laughing. And, at the young me, that joy, seeing him laugh and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I want to watch it. I want to laugh. No, you can't watch it. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. You can't watch
with
this.
Somebody like Bernie Mac on them.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can't watch this. Go back to bed. Right. Bernie Mac, my favorite comedian all time, by the way. Rest in peace. Favorite comedian all time. And I come in there, I tried again. Okay, I can't watch it tonight. Let me go back this other night when it comes on and go back in there. Go to bed. You can't watch this. So finally one day he's like, all right, you can sit down and watch it, but if you repeat anything you hear, you'll never be able to watch it again. And ever since then, I didn't understand the jokes. I didn't know I was listening to, what was going on. But I would know that if he laughed, I could laugh. It was something funny. And since then, it's just grown. And ever since then, I've been loving it.
So was you going back to school repeating the jokes?
I did once in the 8th grade. I said, if I don't know if we can cuss on here. So,
we grown, man.
I said, motherfucking 8th grade got in trouble. But that was long past then, I was still in trouble, but yeah, I don't know. It was just
you gonna say MF? You start with something small.
I went to the top.
You went to the big.
Ain't been cussing ever since. Cussing is definitely a therapeutic release.
It's a stress reliever.
A stress reliever for sure. And I went straight to the top. Of course, I got in trouble for it, but
shout out to all the cousin Christians out there.
Yeah,
I know y'all out there.
They out there.
Don't be looking at my podcast like, let that man say MF.
Yeah,
when y'all be,
it's
you know what you be doing. Some of y'all be cussing at church. Anyway,
yeah, you're right.
Man, let's get back on track, man. So we had play number 2, play number 3, and you're gaining this, this momentum going into, play number 4. Are we taking these plays on the road? What are we doing with these plays as we continue to gain more momentum? And, can you run down the list of the titles of these plays as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we hadn't got to the road part yet after 4. It came a little bit down the line. We went to Chicago, but I'll get to that. But man, the first one was called Family Ties. The second one was called House Divided. Third one, my favorite, the one that won the award, is The Wedding. The fourth one was Aunt Ethel's Family Christmas. Shout out to Markia Douglas. She plays the character of Aunt Ethel, who will be in this new play coming up next month. She's an older woman with Alzheimer's, based loosely on my grandmother that had Alzheimer's on my dad's side. But I want to tell the comedy side of it because, of course, it's the the tragic disease, but it represents I want to tell at least the comedic side of it because it can have funny moments when you sit back and think of some of the moments. So it was Aunt Ethel's Family Christmas. Fifth one was I Hate My Job.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I figured a lot of people could. That is actually the one I got feedback on all of them, very positive feedback on all of them, thankfully. But that's the one that people were really writing me and telling me how inspired they were. People was like, I really enjoyed this play because I felt like it could, a lot of people related. And I was writing it writing it just based on, my train of thought at the moment, my mindset. And to see so many other people be able to relate to it because it's a reality in today's society, especially. A lot of people were touched by that one. That was the fifth one. The sixth one was For Richer or Poorer. Seventh one was Home for the Holidays. And then, of course, the eighth one coming up, Double Standard. But, man, so I was doing 2 a year at one point, and the schedules we would run were ridiculous. So let me see. I started writing the first one summer 2013. We started practicing in October 2013. So we started practicing in October. The play was in February 2014. Then I was like, okay, I'll do another one. Started writing the other one in March, finished it in May. This is all 2014. Casted for it in June. Started practices in July 2014. So July, the play was in October. So from July to October, we're practicing, running the strong schedule. Then I already was writing the third one, The Wedding, as we're doing the second one. So it took me like 2 weeks to write that. So we finished that in October, the second one, took the month of November off, and then started practicing for the fourth one, December. It was in April. And then wrote another one and casted for that one in June. And we did that one in November, December. And then I was feeling like, okay, I need a break. So we were running essentially 2 years strong, with a month or two off here and there, but essentially running for like a good 2-year period, really just building a fan base. It was hard work. It was enjoyable work, but it was tough because, I still work full-time job, and, still trying to do, live a young life in my 20s, still trying to go out, still trying to go out of town, still trying to turn up, still trying to hang out with friends, still trying to hang out with family. So trying to juggle it was a lot, but it was definitely a passion. So it made it not as hard.
My question is, how do you know that a script is done? I mean, because with music, you kind of have a format. You're going to have 16, you're going to have a hook, another 16, maybe a 12, a bridge. But how do you know when a script is done, complete? Like, you know what? I can live with this.
That's a great question, man. You never really know. And I say that because even now with the play being next month, we're still making small changes to certain things in the script now. We've been practicing since May. So the best way to do it is really read it, have someone else read it. And what I do, what I've started doing now is if I already know that I want to cast someone, I'll check their availability, make sure they're, free and clear. And then I'll get a group of us and we'll read it together as a unit. And if it sounds good, if they give me positive feedback, that's what we go with. But as we practice, we still make small changes. Like, hey, if this character did this, I think it will be better than that. And I give all the actors freedom to come up with any idea. And if I like it, we'll use it. If not, we won't. Like,
yeah, that was the question I was going to ask. How much room for improv do you leave in your script? How often do people go off script and you have to reel them back in, or it makes for sometimes it makes for a funny moment.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. I allow full creative control because I consider myself an actor first before anything else, just because that's my passion is in the acting. The writing was just really to create work and opportunity for myself and others. But as an actor, you want to have free range and control of that character within the character's limits, of course. So I always say, if you have an idea, bring it to practice before you bring it to the stage. And if I like it, we'll keep it. If not, I won't. But some characters have a little bit more freedom than others just based on who the character is. So if it's an older person that may may not have a filter with their words like we know older people to be like in real life. They may have a little bit more freedom than a character that's maybe more serious or more liberal or whatever it may be. So but the opportunity and freedom is there, especially if the audience is loving it. I may let it go on.
Yeah, I want right here for my dentures to fall out.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny. And I'm like, we'll give it a try.
Yeah, I don't know. It's COVID out here.
Yeah.
We don't know about, your spit flying everywhere.
While
trying to act.
Yeah.
Anyway, man. So, we come to putting it on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Chicago.
Yes, sir.
The Windy City.
Windy City.
How does that come about? How does someone find you down here in Nashville and say, "Hey, Jaren, man, won't you bring this thing up to Chicago, bro?"
Yeah, man. So it was shout out to Rachel Gray. She's actually in this play too. She sent me the info for it. So it was like a competition, like a playwright competition throughout the United States. And it was the host city was Chicago. So she sent me the info, like an Instagram message or something. And, I had looked into it, didn't consider it much. I had Googled it, looked into it. I was like, oh, it's not too bad. And it was like a free to enter type thing. So I was like, oh, okay, well, no, it was like submit a script to, see if you can qualify type thing. So I submitted the wedding script just to see. And I submitted it. And the guy, Victor Gully, who's over it, called me the same day, like a couple hours later. It's like, man, me and my team, we just read your script. We definitely think, you're in. We definitely want you to come and be a part of it. Bring this play there. It's great. And we need this to be a part of it. It's something different. So I gathered up some people because it wasn't the full play. It was a scene from the play. And we went up there in Chicago. I want to say we came the furthest, like from Nashville, because a lot of people were local to Chicago or from surrounding states and cities like Indiana, or it wasn't too far or something like that. But I think it was a 2-day event. They had like judges like Leon. Who else did they have? They had a lot of other people from different movies and stuff like that kind of be a part of it. It's killing me because his name is slipping my I'm gonna think about it later on. But yeah, just a lot of judges and stuff like that. There was a big audience. Lil Nas X was in the audience. There was a lot of people there with some name and some weight behind them. And it was us competing with maybe like 10 to 12 other, stage plays. So we took it up there. We were the only ones from, Nashville. We're going to represent. We didn't really have anybody in the audience there with us. It was just us together as a unit. And yeah, I'm thinking, if we placed third, that's a win for us. And we ended up winning first place in the play. I won the playwright award. The play itself was awarded. So it was a wonderful feeling. Did not expect it, but it was great.
So you on road taking W's,
man. It was a great feeling, man.
So how did you convince a team of actors to be like, hey, come on, bro, we finna go to Chicago, we finna put on for the city, man. Look, I ain't got no money right now. I promise you, bro.
Yeah,
we make.
Shout out.
If we make it in Chicago, we can make it anywhere.
Yeah. Shout out, man. And big shout out to them. My brother KP, he went. Tay, who we talked about earlier, Tay went. Comedian Josh Black. Okay. He was on board. He went with this, man. And I had worked with all of them before. And I just called them up with the opportunity. And they thankfully they were all on board with it. They're like, yeah, man, sounds dope. And it was money if we were to win, so that helped entice it also. So I'm like, man, we don't just win an award, we win some money behind it.
Yeah, we're gonna split this.
Gonna
split this, man.
Yeah, so that helped, and they believed in it. They believed in the project. I believed in it. We practiced that together probably about 2 months before we went up there, and we went up there and did it, and everybody did a great job. And I'm so thankful for them because they, probably living out a dream in theirs too, but helped me to accomplish one of mine too. So it was super dope experience. Like the whole weekend we were up there, we just had a great time.
I always say
Robert Townsend, that's his name. My bad. He was one. I knew it'd come to me later on, but
Meteor
yeah.
Man was in there.
Yeah, he was there in attendance. So yeah, major shout out
Hollywood
to
Shuffle.
him. He was there.
Hey,
It was gonna kill me if I didn't think of it, man.
5 Heartbeats.
Yeah, he got some stuff under his belt now.
Hey, a story about Robert Townsend is when he made Hollywood Shuffle, he actually like maxed out all his credit cards to put out Hollywood Shuffle.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
it's gonna take a passion behind it. When you really believe in it, you're willing to go the extra mile for it, and for him to pay it off.
I always say this about visions or purpose. When God places a vision or a purpose in your life, He always sends people in your path to reaffirm what He's already told you or given you. So shout out to God,
absolutely, amen,
for putting these people in your pathway that believe so much in you and what you had going on that they would follow you to Chicago.
Major blessing.
That's a haul.
Major
Chicago. Who knows if you had to go through O Block? Who knows?
Well,
man. But so we're winning awards, and we're bringing them back home. What is that feeling? What is that feeling coming back home with this money, with these awards and all these accolades? How was that? That feeling just coming back to the city and man, like, hey, bro, look what I did. Look what I did for us.
Amazing. Man, the support system was amazing. Friends, family, people who just like the plays in general. Like everybody was so supportive, reaching out, Instagram or Facebook, congratulating me, calling me, texting me. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling to be able to bring it back home, go from out of town, win an award in a city where we really don't know too many people. And then the love we got back here was super dope. It was an accolade for all of us to have under our belts. Me especially, just because it was a playwright award, and I felt like that put me in a sense on a different level. Still more work to do, of course. This surprisingly, because COVID hit shortly after. So this is the first play back since winning the award. So I had to make sure I still had it, but it definitely, it gave me a sense of, okay, this hard work is paying off.
Okay, so it's almost like getting a 6-man award, but now you're going for that MVP.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, definitely not stopping. It that feeling makes you want to continue to chase it and go after more. And even if they're not just like awards, I mean those are great. Don't get me wrong. Never, it's not on awards. Anytime someone appreciates your work to award you for it is a blessing. But just to get back to the roots of what I'm really doing it for, which is opportunity for others and entertainment, enjoyable experience for everyone that comes out to see it.
Awards are a gauge to see, I must be doing something right if I'm getting awards for it.
That's true.
If I'm getting all these accolades. So what things have you learned from previous plays that you have leading up to your new play, Double Standard, which hits the stage August 20th?
Yes, sir.
What has those previous 7 plays prepared you for a Double Standard?
Oh man, that's a great question. Oh man, it's prepared me for a lot. I don't know if I can single in on one thing. Writing style, I kind of know or have a good general understanding of what the audience expects, what I can give them. Like, I don't want them to just come see a play. I want them to have an overall experience. So with each play, I try to write to what something that someone can relate to in some shape, form, or fashion. And whether it's not that person directly, it may be somebody they know. Oh, so-and-so went through this or is going through this. So I always try to make the plays relatable. So of course that hasn't changed. But I guess the preparation part comes in from a personal level for me, how to prepare the cast, practices, trying different things to make sure that we're prepared to give the best possible show, because it's only one night only. So we want to make sure, that we leave it all on the stage.
One night.
So yeah, to make sure we leave it all on the stage. it's helped prepare me, like you said, from a business sense. Like I know, I got to start early for stuff if I want to get to this level. We can't start stuff last minute. It's helped me with that. Promotion. Each play poses a different and unique challenge. Like each one has its own set of challenges that are different. So navigating through all of them to hopefully one point I can get to a point where I'm say, okay, seen it all, done it all, been through it all. This is nothing. So I'm still working to get to that point, but yeah, just the experience in itself is fun, and it's every time a play is going on or practice for one, I'm to the point where like, okay, I'm ready for it to be over with, and I'm gonna take a break. And as soon as it ends, about a week or two later, I'm ready to start back.
The bug gets you.
Yeah, so
yeah,
never changes.
Pick up the pen.
I'm telling you,
man. So, give us a brief synopsis of double standards. It's a a very wide spectrum of double standards here. You can have double standards in relationships, in any type of relationship, really. So give us a little.
Absolutely, man. And this encompasses all of that. Like when you hear the title, the first thing that comes to your mind is what you're going to see on stage and some. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about, friendships. We're talking about family. We're talking about what double standards are, the rules of man versus women, or should so-and-so do this, or should so-and-so do that? Is that considered masculine or feminine? Is that considered feminine or masculine? Like it's a whole genre and situation full of things that are created within the play that I want everybody to, I know everybody be able to relate to. And of course it's a story in it too. We're not just getting up there bashing men or bashing women. Not at all. No one's getting bashed really, because they're telling the story from both sides and both perspectives. But
I was going to ask you if there was any fat shaming in that.
Never.
Any dark skin jokes.
Never.
I'm not here for any of that.
I think we're talking about light skinned people more.
I'm big,
and that was
I'm
tough.
big, sexy, big, sexual chocolate.
Let them know, bro. Care. Let them know.
I come up on the podcast with my shirt off like Rick Ross. I don't care. Yeah.
There you go. Tell them, bro. I can get it 100%.
Yeah, man,
no fat shaming, no dark skin, light skin shaming, none of that. No. We make jokes in reference to some of those topics, but nothing that is, make anyone uncomfortable or mad.
Girl, you know better than wearing that cheetah jumpsuit. You out here looking like an endangered species. Anyway.
We encourage all endangered species to come out to the play. This is not a shot at any endangered species.
One of them, saber-tooths.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah, because saber-tooths is like an older cougar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, nah,
you don't hear about saber-tooths too much.
I just made it up.
Okay. Okay. It made sense to me.
You got cougars.
You got the cougars.
So you got to have a saber-tooth is so way older.
Cougars are what we talking auntie age. Saber-tooth got to be grandma age.
Yeah, saber-tooth. You want saber-tooths, you want the cougars, you want the wild thundercats, you want all.
I get a cougar. Saber-tooth might scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But I get it. It's everybody's got a fantasy out there somewhere.
Man, so with putting out these plays, do you see a diverse crowd? I just mentioned older people, older demographic, a younger demographic. You have people of all races coming out to these plays. What does your crowd look like?
Man, we've been blessed and thankful enough to have some of everyone come out. Like you said, we get an older crowd generally because older people, enjoy stage plays and theater. We get younger people because the subject matter is usually, targeted for everyone, but a lot of young people can relate to it. So we get younger people, we get children coming out, we get people of all races coming out. I've had different races in the plays in the past, so they come out and support. So different ages, different races, different genders, of course. So everyone's able to come out and enjoy it, and I think it's something that everyone can take something away from it. Outside of enjoying it, it's trying to be a message in all of it. So I think everyone's able to take something from it, and whether they apply it to their life or just use it for a conversational piece, it's there.
And let's go ahead and plug the double standard. Tell us where it's going to be, the times, the date, where they can get tickets. All that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Run it
Yes,
down.
sir. Double standard to stage play. My 8th stage play. First one since we won the award. First one back
Kobe.
since COVID. Yes, sir. We come in heavy on August the 20th. Show's gonna be at Mount Zion Baptist Church, biggest venue we ever been at. So we love to see everybody smiling faces come out there for this amazing show. Doors open at 6 o'clock, but we encourage you to get there early because we got a lot of vendors that are going to be there selling different products, having different things to discuss with you. So we encourage you to get there. 4:30 is when the doors open. Show starts at 6 o'clock. All tickets can be purchased through Eventbrite. Only $25. Get them before the day of the show because they go to 35. Everybody missed the pre-sale, man. We had a pre-sale early bird sale when they were only $15. We sold a lot that day, but then people missed out and they're like, oh man, what happened to the early bird tickets? Well, they gone now. But you
Because you're early.
yeah,
It's called
you
early,
got to be
so
early. You got to
first
be
day.
early. So they're gone. But the general admission, $25 is a great price for what you're gonna get, man. I mean, this show is amazing. Like the wedding, I always say has probably been my favorite play, mainly because it won the award. But
Yeah.
I mean, this play is bringing it. This might be my new favorite. The cast is amazing. I mean, we got some of the most talented people in Nashville. Like I'm working within this cast, and I'm so excited for what we're working on and what we're gonna bring to you. Like this live show is not just gonna be a show; it's gonna be a complete experience from beginning to end. Like it's definitely gonna be worth it. Come out, bring your family, bring your friends. Y'all come out. I'm telling you, it's gonna be so worth it. I'm so excited about this show. I can't wait. Honestly, like
Man, I can see
ready.
the excitement on your face. And I know it'll probably be a weight taken off your shoulder, but I want you to take your time and enjoy it while you're in it. Because a lot of times we get to where we in work mode and we don't appreciate the last thing we did. So
that's so true.
I want you to.
That's true.
Take you a minute because I know you want to go back. You want to go back in the lab. You know what I'm saying? You want to hit them back to back like DMX back in '98. But sometimes you got to just let it breathe, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Before we get out of here, I got a little segment on the show I call Doe's Half a Dozen.
Okay.
And it'll be the unofficial sponsor for the day is Joe and Doe Cafe here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
And with this segment, what I do is I ask you, obviously half a dozen is 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask you 6 of a favorite thing in a category or your top 6 in, whatever category I pick.
Okay.
So with you being a playwright and, an actor, give me your top 6 stage plays that you've seen.
That I've seen?
That you've seen or that that you like or have heard of.
Okay. Top 6 stage plays. Man, I feel like a lot of them will be Tyler Perry plays.
Okay.
Just because I grew up watching them, like I'm sure a lot of people did. But I'm gonna mix it up. I love the story of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know where I would rank it. Romeo and Juliet. I know it's a classic and it's cliche, but I was able to act in a modern day version of it a few years ago. And just that overall story, because so many people take and grasp from that and weave in their own concepts, of course, some movies and everything. But the overall story of 2 budding families that, that you got the man and the woman that love each other, but their families hate each other, so they can't be together and all of that. It's classic, great storytelling.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's Bloods and Crips.
Yeah.
It's Republicans and Democrats.
Yes. It's representative of life as we know it.
Titans and the Bengals.
Hey, why you gonna bring that up? Come on, man.
Bro,
that hurt.
Yeah.
I thought we was cool though. What's going on?
Nah, because what I did
I'm still grieving.
A couple, maybe last month I went on a whole AFC tour.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I went to is that Paul Brown? I think that's the Cincinnati Bengals stadium. I went there. I went to the Cleveland Browns Stadium. I went to the Buffalo Bills Stadium. You know what I did is I sprinkled a little bit of that Tennessee flavor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Give them that vibe.
I like that.
Man, they feel
like
that and be like, you know what?
I like that.
The Titans coming, man. We better tighten up.
Listen, I've been a diehard Titans fan since we've had the team. And that was I was at the game. Me and my girlfriend, we were at the game, and she had just had her wisdom teeth pulled 2 days before, and wanted to go. And I'm like, "Are you sure you want to go?" And so we sitting out in the cold. It was a close game, and I just knew that was our year.
Bro, don't.
It's heartbreaking. You brought it up.
My bad. My bad. My bad.
But shout
Back
out
to
to
the
Titans. Yeah.
back to the question.
Back to the question.
We got Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. The first ever Tyler Perry or Medea play that I seen was Family Reunion. And it's funny because we saw it at a family reunion, or we got it and brought it home and watched it. So that's on the list. I probably throw a couple more of his on the list. I've seen a few of his live, but to switch it up and get out of his, I probably add a couple of mine on the list, man.
Okay, sure. Yourself up.
The wedding one, I would say I Hate My Job would be one. I think this Double Standard will be added to the list as a new one. Like, I'm super excited for it. And it's one other play David E. Talbot did, and I'm so mad I forgot the name, but I watched it and it was really good. I think it was What He Won't Do or something along those lines.
What he won't do.
Don't quote me on that, but I saw that one a couple years back, and I kind of enjoyed that. It was pretty good. So yeah, I want to see more. I challenge myself to go out and see more because I haven't seen maybe as many as I should. I'm still more of a movie buff, so I got to go see more plays.
Have you been to maybe Broadway in New York? Have you traveled to Tribeca Film Festival? I know that it says that you won a couple awards from the 48-hour film festival here in Nashville. Are you looking to get more involved in that aspect of?
I am. I haven't been to Broadway. That's definitely on my bucket list. I want to do that. I want to go see. Everyone's been telling me to go see Lion King. So I think they're touring with that now, but I want to see that. And there's a couple of other ones I want to see too on Broadway. Film festival, yeah, we won that. Me and my little bro Keyshawn, shout out to him. He's an amazing up and coming actor in the city. And we worked with this guy named Logan and Carter, and won a few awards doing that. So I want to do more film festivals for sure, both short film and feature length film. I want to do more with film. I've been working on one. I've never done a movie. Well, I've done movies, but never done one that I wrote and did. So
you had web series as well. So
yeah, web series. I'm on a few of those. With the series is one. Shout out to her. I got movies coming out with director Joseph Ebanks. Shout out him, and
shout out him. He's supposed to be coming on the podcast.
Is he? Oh man, yeah. He's gonna give you something, man. He's dope. I've been working with him for a few years on different projects, and we work on a collaborative effort. He's dope, man. Like anytime he's one of the people, he calls me up, I'm there. He does great work. Love working with him. Love working with Tatum. My guy Tatum. He does a lot of shorts. And he came up with this amazing idea to do one called Corona Man that kind of went like semi-small viral a couple years ago when Corona first hit. It was based off the Candyman thing.
Wow.
We did the Corona Man thing.
He just came in there and sneezed on everybody.
Man, look, it was amazing, dude. He had me playing the character. It was his idea and concept, and we worked together before then, but since then we've been pretty tight doing a lot of
blaming on the black man spreading Corona. Is that what we're doing?
It's funny because I'm a germaphobe in real life. So he's like, man, you got to sneeze here and you got to do this and you got to cough. And I'm sitting there like, oh, man, this was when Corona was real.
You got to Ruby Gobert these folks.
I mean, it's still real. Yeah. This one, yeah. So I'm like, man, I got to do all this. But it was a lot of fun too. Just a lot of dope creators in the city too, man. So I've had the pleasure to work with all of them. And I want to do a big feature, have all of them, included in some way, shape, form, or fashion and just really, promote it big. I don't know if I want to sell it to a company or if I want to enter it in contest or do what, maybe have a screening or showing here or something I would like to do. But to do a movie, I think would be a next big challenge because plays are fun. I would never stop doing plays just because that interaction with the live crowd is unmatched. Like that's one of the greatest feelings ever.
Right.
So I will always do plays, but to be able to do a movie, I think would be a new challenge that I want to do because I still love movies. Like I probably watch way more movies than plays, so I definitely want to do kind of venture into that realm.
Before we get out of here, man, is it anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to plug? Of course, we're going to plug Double Standard, but can you give us, your role of people that you want to shout out to, even the cast of Double Standard, or
Absolutely. I was going to mention them, like the entire cast. Shout out to them. They're amazing. Hard work that they've been putting into it. I mean, we got a super talented cast. Marissa, Tay, Keyshawn, Ray, Monty Mills from 101.
Okay.
She's in it. Shay, Portia, like they're all so talented. Sam, like I said, he's in it, killing his role. He's doing a dope job. Keyshawn's in it. Jerice, my stage manager, she's been the stage manager with me for the last few years, and she's been keeping me in check, keeping the cast lined up, making sure we're doing right. Shout out Markia, who's playing Aunt Ethel. She's a super hilarious character that, when y'all see her, the audience already loves her. This is Aunt Ethel's, the character, her third play appearance. So,
okay,
like I said, she's the one with Alzheimer's. She's going to crack everybody up. But yeah, the entire cast for all the hard work that they've been putting in for the last couple months. We got a month and a half left. I know they're ready to reach the finish line like I am, but we almost there. Hold tight.
All right, man. Go ahead and plug your socials before we get out of here, where they can find you, where they can pick up tickets and find out more about Jaren J. Hampton. That name kind of just roll off your tongue like NBA player. Like,
I appreciate it.
It's starting guard. We got Jaren J. Hampton. Anyway, go ahead.
I appreciate that, man. Oh man, you can find me on Instagram at Jaren the Great. I just kind of picked that moniker up in high school and just kind of stuck with it. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I was always like, if I was a wrestler, my wrestling name would be Jaren the Great.
Okay.
But yeah, that didn't happen. But I'm still sticking with Jaren the Great. So Instagram, Jaren the Great. Twitter, Jaren the Great. Facebook, Jaren J. Hampton. And I also have a Facebook business page, Jaren J. Hampton Productions, where you can find updates on all the latest things, and you get behind the scenes footage of how our practices are going. You get character breakdowns and analysis. Some of everything is there for that. I say all that as I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave anybody out in the cast. I'm really thinking about that because I know I'm gonna get cussed out if I do, but I can't think of it. I don't think I did.
Man, it's hard to see your head, not your heart.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the car just like I remember Robert Townsend's name late. I'm gonna be like, but
she gonna kill me.
I know, but yeah, and I don't think I did. But yeah, those are my handles, man. I'm very active too on social media. So follow me definitely. I ain't gonna say we're gonna be just like conversing like all day, but
man, I'm trying to get in your next play, bro. Look, man, I did this church play called Happy Easter. I got credentials, bro.
I do get that a lot, and I do want to have open auditions because it's the opportunity. It's not just for me. I want to provide it for everyone that has the same passion I do. So I will post about future auditions for people that are interested because I definitely want to be a blessing to others, like people have been a blessing to me. So I do post that information as it comes.
Right.
But yeah, definitely.
Well, man, that's been another episode of Donuts with Doe. We had the pleasure of having Jaren J. Hampton, man. And
pleasure's all mine, man.
We want to see you succeed. We want you to come back and tell us about more plays you got coming up, man. But just keep us in the loop, man.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys. You sharing your platform with me. Definitely been a pleasure, man. Got a new fan of me for sure. So I'll definitely be plugging Donuts with Doe podcast, man. It's dope.
On the STP network.
Yes, sir.